everyone. Welcome to another episode of 50 Shades of Over 50. I have as my guest Sylvia Danley-Smith, and I can't wait for you to hear about what she has to say. So, with further ado, welcome, Sylvia.
Well, thank you, Kwame. I know this is long overdue. We tried to get together last year, but we
Yes,
made it happen in 2022. So I'm
that's
so
right.
excited.
It happened when it was meant to happen. So, we're good.
Yes.
And I have to say, I love your glasses.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's one of the things that after you're 50, over 50, it's a necessity. I don't know about for you, but it's a necessity for me to wear glasses. So if you have to wear them, they might as well be fabulous.
Oh no, yes, listen, it's a necessity for me too. I just have contacts today. So yes. So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I am 60 years old, just turned 60 in August. And I like to refer to myself, even though I'm a baby boomer, I like to refer to myself as a millennial by association,
Oh.
or as I like to say, an MBA with an MBA.
Oh, I love it.
Because so I call myself the MBA with the MBA. And it's so funny because now my daughter, who is 26, and my nieces, they're like, well, mom, if you really want to be an MBA, you call yourself a millennial by association, that you need to get with this or you need to get with that. And I'm like, you're right, you're right. And so it keeps me in check. It helps me to
Yes.
remember that even though I am aging and the wisdom that comes with being a baby boomer, I still like some of the values, some of the ways of the millennials, such as getting on Instagram and doing reels and all of those things. I like that. I like
Oh,
that.
I love what you're saying though, because I do the same thing. I have a couple of cousins, they're in their 30s. Listen, I hang with them all day, every day. We're, back and forth, talking, texting. It's like they infuse that energy into you in a different way. And so I learn from them, they learn from me. It's a two-way street, and I love it.
I love it. Me too.
So, talking about Instagram, I want us to talk a little bit about your Instagram reel that went viral. You guys need to listen to this.
So, being the MBA with an MBA that I am, I told my daughter last year, it probably was around maybe February or March of 2021. And I said, I want to do a reel. Let's do a reel. I want to do one. She said, okay, mom, let's just do one right now.
Oh.
So just on a whim, she said, here's what you can do. And I practiced it for a couple of seconds. She said, okay, let's do it.
Oh.
We did it. I had never done it before, maybe rehearsed it 2 times. We put it up and that reel went viral. It has 1.8 million views. Wow. We could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. The very first reel I had ever done went viral.
Wow.
So that gave me the real bug.
Yeah.
So I did a couple of more little reels after that.
Yeah.
That went viral. I recently did one that got close. It has 900 and something thousand.
Wow.
Views that I did, which was based upon one of Kanye West's songs. We put on the whole art. That one went viral.
Nice.
So the one that really went viral, the very first one I did,
yes,
was based on my real life. It said, darling, I don't want to do labor. I don't, something that I can't remember the tagline now.
Yeah.
Darling, I don't believe in labor or something to that.
Oh, I remember.
It was perfect.
It was perfect because you had just retired, I think, and it just kind of.
I had been retired for a while, but it was just so natural. And what I found is the reels that really relate to you are the ones that you can easily do, and the ones that make the most sense. And so for me, that was a true one. That one people probably couldn't believe, first of all, that I was retired. And they thought it was my voice. I thought, okay, I'm on to something.
You did it well, though.
Act a little bit.
You did it well. That was amazing.
And so I found that reels have become a way of self-expression for me. It allows me to tap into that little bit of actor bug that I like, to step outside of yourself to do something different. And I've enjoyed it. I haven't recorded any in a week or so I need to get back on the reel train. But it's been fun. It was fun.
Wow.
It's been a fun ride. I don't take it too seriously. It's just been fun.
And that's the important thing. And so for those of you listening, you're like, should I do a reel? Listen, it's so much fun. And I'm going to post the link to her reel that went viral so that you guys can follow. And I'm also going to post the link to her Instagram because you need to follow her. She does a lot of fun, amazing things. And I think we all need to be uplifted and encouraged in some way, especially at this age. You know, we're doing our thing. I mean, the young people are doing their thing, but we're also doing our thing. So let's kind of stick together and encourage and motivate one another. I think that's important.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for us too to motivate the young people to see what they have to look forward to.
Yes.
You know, they don't think that aging is something, oh my God, I'm going to be 40, I'm going to be 50. No,
Yeah.
something to look forward to. We just don't roll up and die because we turn 50.
I'm glad you said that. I actually watched a TikTok video earlier today that was kind of talking about that, where the younger people are doing all they can so that they can't age. And you know what? The thing is, it's inevitable. There's a saying by Helen Mirren: you either die young or you grow old. There is no in between. And so I want us through this show and just through all the people that come on here, I really want us to be an example of what's possible when you get to our age. I want the young people to see this and say, wow, look at what they're doing at this age. This is fun. This is something to look forward to, because right now, I'm going to be honest, a lot of them are dreading it. They think it's a death sentence and it's like life stops, you know?
And you're so right. It doesn't stop. And I noticed that even with my nieces who are all millennials, they are preoccupied with the aging process. Oh, they don't want a line here. They don't want a wrinkle here. They're doing this. And I think social media has contributed to feeling that you have to look perfect. And so what I try to tell them, although I like to look nice, you don't have to be perfect. Perfection is not the rule, because there's nothing perfect. We know that many of the websites, many of the reels, many of the Instagram and Facebook, they have these filters that alter how we look. And so it keeps people from seeing the imperfections, that we are perfectly imperfect. And while we want to look our best, and there's nothing wrong, I've used the filter too, but I don't have a problem with coming on just like I am, because that is how we are. And I think that because of that, society has made our young people think that if you don't look perfect, you can't have any wrinkles, you can't have any lines, you can't have any gray hair, you can't have sagging boobs, you can't, you know, and that is not reality. That is reality.
It isn't. And it's not even close to reality. I think being able to normalize how we are in real life is important. Like sometimes I mean, like you, I love to dress up. I love to do all that. But you know, there are times I've just finished from the gym, no makeup, whatever. I'll do a reel. I'm like, okay, this is it. Because you know what? That is true. That is my real life. That isn't, I don't always have to have it all set and all. Listen, and it's exhausting. No one can keep that up.
It is. And I tell them, I said, people know that you can look nice. They see you when you dress up. So the reality is, people know that nobody looks perfect 100% of the time. So you see me when I'm dressed up. You see me when I don't have anything on. You know the difference. I'm not fooling anybody. I'm not trying to perpetrate a lie that I look like this all the time. I look the best that I can look, but I have no desire to be out there looking like, you know, I am pro-age.
Yes.
And I would lie if I would say, and I would think for you too, that we have a problem with aging, but I realize that everybody ages differently.
Yes.
And so I have many friends that are 60, some in their 50s, some look older than I look. Very few look younger. Very few look younger. But they're comfortable with who they are.
Right.
Some of them are grandparents, and that is okay. I just say, if you see something in me that you like, and if I can encourage you, I'll show you how to get there. But I by no means advocate that everybody should try to look as youthful as you look.
Exactly.
No, that's not for everybody.
And it's not realistic. It's true, because when I did my series last year in the summer, that was one of the things I was trying to encourage. Like, there are women that came on there who had gray hair and did not have any intention of dyeing their hair. And there's some others that are like, oh no, Kwabi, listen, I am dyeing my hair. And that's okay. It's like, you do you, but don't kind of have a set standard for everyone. There is no, you know, it's like it's not a one size fits all. It isn't. Let people be. And I think that's important. So the young people can kind of pick and choose, like, oh, look at how this person is, you know, aging, and look at how this person is aging, because we all age differently. But I also think in some way, and you tell me what you think, I also think it's probably the culture in the US. Because I grew up in England, but I also spent my middle school and high school in Nigeria. And in Nigeria, it's like the way they treat their elders is a whole, we look up to our elders. We revere them. We're like, oh, it's a big thing when you get to your 50s and 60s and 70s. And so for me, I think that's why for me, it's hard sometimes for me to understand why are we just, what's the big deal about age? And this is a blessing. Not everyone gets to be this age.
Yes.
So what do you think? Do you think it's more of a cultural thing? What do you think?
I think I'd have to agree with you because I do have many African friends, some in Nigeria, some in Ghana, male and female. And some of them say, I'm going back home when I get over a certain age because you can live better when you get older for the same reasons that you said. You're revered, you're an elder. And while I get that, and I want the respect that's due to me because of my age, I don't feel that I have to look a certain way just to be a certain age. I should still have that respect. And I even have to remind my daughter, I say, I know sometimes I confuse you. You forget that I'm 60, but I need a helping hand. I can't walk as fast. I can't do this. I know you're a ball of energy. But for me, I realize that I have certain physical constraints that aging, I have to face it. I remind myself, I get reminded on a daily basis, oh, you're not as young as you used to be.
Yes.
But I don't have to look my age. And I still want that respect. I want all the discounts that come in my way.
Yes.
I get all the senior discounts I can get. I'm asking for everything because just because I may not look like it, I still want it.
Yes.
I'm not trying to hide my age.
That's it.
I'm not trying to hide it.
Yes. I love it too, because I feel the same way. Because sometimes, and I don't know if you get this, sometimes people come up to you like, you don't dress your age. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like, seriously. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, seriously?
I take offense to that. And I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I'm trying to say. And that's why I had to come to grips with not everybody age is the same. So if I'm not going to condemn you for walking around in a moo and, looking like a granny, then, because I'm not trying to be young. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to be me.
That is the key. That is it right there. You're not trying to be, you're trying to, and that's how I feel. That's it.
Yeah. I'm not trying to look any younger. I don't want to look any older, but my objective when I get up every day and I get dressed is not to try to look as young and hip as I can be. No, I think that I'm very age appropriate. It's just I'm doing me, however that is, and allow me to be me. And that is why it's so important. That is why when I initially got on Instagram, I think I got on Instagram maybe back in 2014 or 15, I had started a page very similar to what you have now. It's called 50 Plus and Fabulous. It's still out there. I don't maintain it as much, but my whole purpose was I felt like a misfit. I felt like, am I the only one who feels this way at 50? I need a community of people. So I kind of went out there and spoke for all women over 50. And I'm like, I want to know if there are women that have their nose pierced at 50. I want to know if there are women who, have tattoos at 50. I want to know if there are women who shave their hair off at 50. And so what it did for me, it helped me to develop a sense of community. It really was more of a social science project than anything else. Shortly thereafter, there were more pages that came out, but I did it for myself because I needed validation that I'm not out here alone. If there are other women out here who feel the same way I feel, I'm not an anomaly. I'm not a misfit. Right. I just have to find those people that are more like me.
Yes. Love. It's true though, because sometimes you feel like, okay, what's up? I'm just the only one out here. But there are more people like that. And I think it's changing. It's like this over 50 now. It's not a one size fits all. We all come in all shapes, shades, and sizes. And so we find the place that we fit in. And guess what? I can decide tomorrow I'm going to do something else. And it's okay.
And I love it. Like I said, I just love your energy. It's so infectious because you're just out there doing it all. And I said, but that is it, because we all age differently, and everybody over the age, I'm going to reach even back to 40, because I think 40 is when you become aware of who you are, or you start to see that I'm going to come to grips with who I am. By 50, you pretty much are entrenched in who you are. You're figuring it out. But let me tell you, when you get to 60, you just feel free to be who you want to be. And this is like the best time in my life.
I'm excited.
Right,
love it.
Best time.
Love it. And for those listening, and the thing is, because I'm a life coach and I work with a lot of women who are 50 and over, the thing is, not everyone feels this way. There are some women who are still struggling with who they are because society puts all these values, and sometimes they look at that as, okay, that's the norm, and they don't feel that they fit in, and they should probably just shrink into the shadows. They shouldn't really say anything anymore. They can't go after their goals. And I just want to say to you, if you're listening, that is not true. If you want to go after your goals, regardless of what it is, you still have that opportunity. If you're living and breathing, yes, you can, regardless of what society says. Now, it might be hard because not everyone is going to agree with you. But listen,
Right.
when you decide to really take steps towards your goal, even before you get there, that feeling is priceless.
Yes.
It is. And that's what I want for
what
everyone.
I started doing. Yeah, and what I started doing too as I began to age was, I always say I plan to live to be 100. Okay,
Yes.
now, so I have about 40 more good years. Okay, and of sound mind and body, not just being alive, but to
Yes.
actually contribute. And so you find people to look up to. So while we want the younger people to look up to us, I'm looking up to the 70-year-olds and people who are 80 who are doing things for the first time in their lives,
Yes.
who have not decided that it's over. I mean, just recently, Betty White just died.
Thank
She's a few
you.
days
Ooh.
shy of 100, and she looked fabulous.
Yes.
Iris Apfel is still living.
Yes.
Still
Look at that.
being an
And
influencer.
yeah.
Glasses for Z-Lol. And
Look at that.
thing is, I look to those people because
Yes.
those are the people who give me hope.
Yes.
That, you know what, it's not over yet. It's
yes.
not over till it's over.
Yes.
You can continue. And so I don't dwell on all the aches and pains that I have, or the fact that the better years are behind me, because I don't believe my best years are behind me.
No, they're
I
ahead
really
of you,
don't.
girl. Yes.
And in fact, I don't even care to go back. When I revisit, we were just doing like the 10-year challenge or the 20-year challenge.
Yeah.
I like how I look better now than I did 10, 20 years ago.
Yep. Yes.
So, because you come with so much more clarity and
Yes.
self-assurance about
Yes.
who you are. And I believe that until I have fulfilled my purpose on this life, on this earth, I'm
Yes.
going to continue to live. And I don't think that I fulfilled it yet. I don't know what God has
Yes.
planned for me, but I don't
Yes.
think I fulfilled it yet. So
Love
I'll
it.
be around for a while.
I love that. When you talked about Betty White, I remember there was a TikTok video I did where I talked about, because sometimes, and I don't know if you've noticed it, but sometimes when you're on social media, sometimes you get a few remarks from the younger ones making statements like, oh, you're trying to come, you're trying to be like us. And I put out a video out there and I said, listen, young people, we're not trying to be like you. We're trying to be like Betty White and Cicely Tyson. Those are the people we're looking up to,
Go.
Yes. Those are those are the people we're not trying to be like you, because we don't want to be like you. And that's the truth. Really.
I don't want to go through all of that stuff. Really.
Nope.
And the thing about it is, when I looked at my stats about where the majority of my followers come from, they actually are not people that are 55 and 60. They reach back to 35-year-olds.
Wow.
Through the 50s. So that means they're looking at something.
Yes.
Back and they're telling their moms, hey mom, you need to be like that lady there. And it was so funny. One of my best friends that I've known since kindergarten. In fact, we have a little group that we call the kindergarten crew. I have some friends that we've actually been friends since we were 5. We get together periodically. We have a chat.
Love it.
Dinner, because we've been friends just that long. But one of the times we got together, one of my friends, she said, Sylvia, I have to share this with you. She said, my daughter was like, Mommy, you need to see this woman on Instagram. You need to be like her. And so she shows her daughter the page. She's like, I know, that's my friend Sylvia. She's like, you don't know her mom. No, you don't know. She's like, yes, that's my friend. And so we laugh now. And I said, the fact that her daughter would show her friend who's there, and she's like,
oh my goodness,
it's my friend, trust me.
And she's like, no, she's not.
And so she's like, so I need you, Sylvia, to show me what I can do to be fabulous, because my daughter and I just got the biggest kick out of that.
I know.
Because here's her own daughter trying to show her, you need to be like this lady who is your
and you've been friends forever.
We've been friends forever. And so now when I see her and see her daughter, we have this instant love. And I was like, oh, bless your heart, baby. Bless you. You thought I was somebody famous. Thank you.
Yes, you are famous. Yes.
Yes. But that's the reaction that I want. I want young women to see, and I want people our age range to see. Don't give up.
No.
Don't give up.
No,
Don't give
it's
up.
not too
You still
late.
have so much more life.
Yes.
Don't give up. And whatever that means for you. Like I said,
Yes.
I'm pro age. So whatever you want to do, however you want to age,
Yeah.
I'm fine. You're a lifestyle coach. Or
Yes.
you're a life coach.
Life coach. Yes.
You're a life coach. I'm more of a lifestyle influencer. And I kind of coined that
Yes.
name because it's a little different because I want you to live your best life, whatever that
Yes.
is,
Yes.
however that is for you.
That's
There's
it.
no roadmap for it. It's,
There isn't.
you tell me what you like to do and live that life. But
Yes.
you too can have it. And I've really been a lot into affirmations and
Yes.
manifestations because I believe that
Oh,
this
those
is the
work.
time,
Yes.
and I know that they work. And I
Oh,
have felt the
powerful.
results of it just in the last year. And so I've amped it up a little bit. I've raised that vibration a little higher
Yeah.
because I'm ready. Now that I know the secret, oh, I'm ready now.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
ready.
with you. All right, talking about being famous. So you did a docuseries recently. Can you tell us a bit about that?
I'll tell you a little bit about it. So let me first start by saying that last year was the first year I had actually done a vision board.
Mm.
My daughter and my nieces, they always had vision board parties, but last year was something unique. I said, I'm going to do a vision board this year. I'm not going to let 2021 come in without me doing a vision board. And so I created what ended up being a series of vision boards. Really, I started with one
Mm.
board, but it ended up being 3 boards because my vision just got to be so big. And so as
Ooh.
part of that vision board, I put, and I have one right here. I will kind of show you. This is the one I
Yeah.
did for
Oh, I love that.
2021. But on this
Ooh.
particular one, this is just my first board. I have here a picture of me, and I'm not going to go through describing everything, but here it was a heart. And so
Yeah.
my daughter said to me, "So, Mom, what's the heart for?" She's like, "Oh, so you can find love." I said, "No, that's me, the big heart, you're the little heart, so that we can have a relationship that's closer." And she did a
Oh.
vision board. And on her vision board, she had LA and some other things on it. And we all had, stuff about traveling and money and all the
Yes.
things that we wanted to do. And my daughter she graduated with a degree in communications. So she belongs to a lot of groups that send her things that let her
Yes.
know what things are coming up. And so she said, "Mom, I just applied for this show. It's going to be this show. It's going to be on the Oprah Winfrey Network on OWN about mothers and daughters. Do you think you want to do this?" And so I said, "Well, I was doing something at the time. I might have been preparing for some kind of interview or something on." I said, "Just send me the message." So I didn't respond to her. She sent it to me. She didn't know whether I wanted to do it or not, but I immediately filled out the application. And within 24 hours, we both received calls saying, "Oh, you guys sound great. We want to have a Zoom meeting with you."
Ooh.
To make a long story short, things just started to snowball. We're like, "Oh, wow, we're going to be in this thing. It's going to happen." And so that was maybe around April. And we had to go through an extensive vetting process,
Yeah.
but they were just, including psychological
Oh, wow.
evaluations and all kinds of interviews. Long story short, we got selected for the show. And part of it was like, "Well, when you come, you're going to be off the grid for like a month in
Oh,
August." And I was like, "No problem. I'm retired. No big deal." She's self
yeah.
employed. It was not a big deal.
Yes.
But I knew, I was like, "Boy, my 60th birthday is coming in August." And I had planned,
Oh.
it was my plan that I wanted to go to Africa. I was going to spend a month in
Oh.
Ghana with my cousin in
Oh.
August. And I said, "Well, I guess I can't go because we're going to be gone. We'll be in
Yeah.
LA for a month."
Yeah.
It was probably a best experience. It ended up being a group
Wow.
of 6 pairs or 6 duos of mothers and daughters
Oh,
from
wow.
all over the United States. We were sequestered up in the
Oh.
hills of California in a beautiful $7.8 million home
Ooh.
where we received guidance. It was like a retreat, mother daughter retreat,
So for a month.
and for a month. And the
Wow.
mother and daughter therapists it was a mother daughter pair of therapists
Oh, wow.
who led us through the process. And so the docu-series aired January the 8th on
Okay.
Discovery Plus. And so it's on
Yes.
Discovery Plus and Amazon
Yes.
Prime. After it finishes there, then it will go on OWN. Probably will be on OWN next month because it was
Okay.
produced by OWN. But
Nice.
it was probably one of the best experiences that we could have.
Oh.
All the daughters, it was basically all of our daughters were ranged in age from maybe 25 to 28.
Oh, okay.
And there were 6 moms, 6 daughters.
Wow.
We're friends to this day. We're already
Oh.
into episode 4. So right now we're in
Okay, I need to
episode
go watch
4
it.
of the docu
Wow.
series. It is excellent. I have received such great feedback
Oh,
from both mothers and daughters. Sometimes the moms and the daughters will go on live. And so the mothers have decided we'll go on live every Sunday, I think, after the show, just to kind of talk
oh,
about the experience, to talk about the issues that are going on. But when I tell you, have your tissues ready, it goes,
oh,
it deals with everything from extreme trauma to lightweight trauma, just things that many mothers and daughters don't talk about. And I think it's just very appropriate because I'm a baby boomer mom with a millennial
yeah,
daughter. And I think that a lot of mothers can understand just how that dynamic goes. Whether you
yeah,
have a
of
son
course.
or whether you have daughters, it doesn't
Yeah,
really make a difference. But
yeah.
there are things that we pass through generations that we need to work out. And so personally for me and my family, we have all girls. I have a daughter, my sister has two daughters, and my brother has a daughter. So we have all girls.
Oh,
And
wow.
we have used the opportunity as we had a watch party the first night that it came out, and we had
Oh,
discussions. We had one, my daughter's best friend's mother is a therapist. We had some open discussions. We talked about things.
mm,
And we had a subsequent uh, discussion as a family just to sort of break down those generational
yes,
barriers to communication.
that's it.
And
That's it.
it was one of the best things I believe that my daughter and I could have done. It was a great way for me to spend my 60th
Yeah,
birthday.
together for a month. Oh
And
my
as a
word.
result, and we had no TV, no cell phones,
Oh, wow.
um, no
So you
social
had to
media
really
whatsoever.
communicate,
We
period.
had to communicate. We were just there. We just had all the food and things that we wanted. It was a wonderful
Everything.
experience. But as
Wow.
a result, I gained new nieces. I gained new sisters from
Oh,
the experience because that was something that only we went through together. And it
yeah.
was beautiful. And so my hope is that other mothers and daughters will watch it, that it will bring healing to their
Yes.
relationships, that it will begin some of the discussions that we need to have with our
Yeah.
children, particularly mothers and daughters, and that as daughters, we will have even with our mothers because it
Yes.
starts there. And
It
sometimes it
starts
starts
there.
with them and the relationships that they have with their mother, and it sort
Yes.
of
And it
trickles down.
trickled. Yes. And so we can change. And I agree with you though, because communication is different. Like the way you communicated with your mother is very different from what your daughter expects because she grew up in a different time from you. And I see that.
Yes.
And if we are not open to change, it
Hmm.
can really wreak havoc on your relationships. Like, oh no, it has to be this way because this is how I grew up. But then she grew up differently. Different things are happening.
Yeah.
Are you open to listening to her? I mean, so that, I mean, I can't wait to watch it. I'm excited about that.
Yes, it is. A lot of people are saying, oh, it has really dealt with a lot of issues that they have. And so, whether it is your issue or not, I'm sure you know some mother or daughter that has been through some of them, some of the issues. And like I said, we're just halfway into the docuseries, so it's not too late to binge watch to catch up. But it was an experience of a lifetime. I would not
Wow.
trade it for the world. And as a result, it has strengthened our relationship,
Mm.
and which was what I had hoped. And as I look back on my vision board, I said that was one of the things I had there. And so now,
Wow.
I had other things on. Oh, I had other things on the vision board.
Tell
For
us.
instance, on this had 10,000. I
Yes.
wanted 10,000 Instagram followers, and I had at the time that I did this, I only had maybe 2,000 followers.
Yeah.
So that first reel, boom, that kicked me up. A couple more reels, a couple more things. I had going into 2022, I have 14.7 thousand Instagram followers. I have now upped that. I want 50,000. And just in case this one goes, it could be 150,000. And
Yes.
so for 2022, and not only that, I want to be verified this year. So
Yes.
as our vision boards are living, breathing
They are
documents. And
though.
so as
Yes.
things haven't materialized, I add to it or I create new ones. But that was just something I had no idea. When I put 10,000 Instagram followers on that vision board last year, I might as well have put a million because I was like, Sylvia, you only have 2,000,
No.
but put it up there, write the vision, make it
Y-
plain, put it there.
Listen,
And
it works.
when it started going, I could not believe it, Claudia, because I'm not out there doing videos every day. I'm not creating content every day. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah. People, you connected with people. I love this thing you're talking about vision board. It's actually kind of timely because I'm actually doing a vision board social on Sunday. But listen,
Wonderful.
in Atlanta, but I truly believe in vision boards. I remember my first vision board was probably 8 years ago. And I'd put on there, and I had just started business. I put on there that I want to create these retreats for women in international locations. I had no idea how that was going to happen, but guess what? 4 years after that, created one, and I've created 5 since then, and they've all sold out.
Okay.
But I had no idea. I had no idea. And so
that's the beauty.
It is
not for us to know how. And I think
you don't need to know how.
We get bogged down. All we have to do is state what our intention is,
what it is,
and then sit still and let it happen. Because when we try to orchestrate things, too much, they don't work the way. And so right now, people are talking about, what's going on with the algorithms and what's happening. I don't even care about that. Because
I never care about that either. I'm like,
I don't care because I don't chase after anything. It's got to come organically.
Yes.
And that's the hardest thing, because once you get a little bit, you think, okay, what I got to do to keep this momentum?
Let me do this again.
You can't replicate it. You
just
have to be authentic, be you.
That's
be
it.
Authentic, and just be open to whatever the universe has for you. And that is hard, because
it is hard.
That means sitting still and
just being quiet.
But there's enough to go around. It's enough for all of us.
Oh my goodness. Please, can you say that again for the people in the back? There is enough.
It's enough for all of us. And I think that when you start comparing yourself to somebody else,
don't go down that road.
Well, this 50+ person is doing this and they're doing that. Because then you're not being authentic. And I am definitely strong on being authentic, being you, bringing the gifts that you have to the process. Yes. And then we all will benefit. A win for one is a win for us all. And I truly believe there is enough to go around. And so, do what you do.
Yeah, there's more than enough. Yeah, there is more than enough to go around, people.
And then you will attract those that like what you do. Right. And then you share the love. And so I so appreciate you just sharing the love, sharing your platform with other 50+ women, because we haven't even begun to just scrape the surface. We haven't.
It's like, I really believe the tide is changing. I really believe that we are going to be able to change the world through our actions, because we have so much wisdom, we have so much experience, and we have so much to offer the world. So once we all tap into that, oh my goodness, once we tap into that, we're going to see things change. Because right now it's kind of the other way, it's all about the youth. And if you're a certain age, you don't really matter. Guess what? It's changing, people. Get ready, world. Get ready.
It is. Because not only do we have the wisdom that comes with it, for many of us, we have the disposable income that comes with it as well.
Thank you.
And so what is happening, these marketers are chasing after beauty and all, and I want to hit some of them up. I, on my vision board, I put to become a brand ambassador, and I'm a brand ambassador for a lot of things. But I added this year, and this one says, my to-do list, to support brands that value, see, respect, and hear, and care about older women. And so my thing is, you have to realize we have a voice, and we have the spending power, and we have the influence. You're chasing after these young people who are chasing after fast fashion and chasing after a look. You want to chase after the people that have the spending power
to do it.
To do with it. And so, you might think that there's no value or worth, and not that I'm going to beat a dead horse to death, but part of my platform this year is to get them to see the value in women over 50.
Yes.
We are using your products. We are wearing your clothes. We are doing all the things, but you don't see the value, and we need you to see it. And I'm happy to support all the skincare brands and all the eyeglass brands, because those are the things that women over 50 need.
We want.
But there are other things that we can do too.
Yes.
And I'm not necessarily gonna be the gray haired grandma in the ads. There are other things that we can do.
Yes.
And so I am going to support brands that see the value in aging and get them to see the value. I think we need to
get them to see. I think that's what we need to get them to see it. I'm with you. Like, for me, there's a big part of me that loves travel. I'm like, why aren't you marketing to us? We travel a lot. We have the money to travel. We want to travel. You don't market to us. We don't see ourselves in the ads. We need to see
and see,
ourselves.
let's change that. We need to change that this year
Yes.
in
Yes.
2022. And so
Yes.
that has been part of my hope. I'm like, I'm not running after people that don't see the value. Well, first of all, I'm not running after anybody. I'm not chasing after anything. Because if you chase something, it's running away from you. I'm attracting what's going to come. But we have the choice to pick and choose the brands that we want to work with. And even solicit to brands that we already patronize to get them to see the value in our dollar.
Yeah, I'm with you, because it's more of an education. We want to educate them. Like, let me tell you why you need to be marketing to us. Let me tell you why, because they don't know.
And do with it. They don't. And I'm like, a lot of them are, oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. And you'll either get one extreme or the other. Either you'll get the ones that are like looking for the older woman, the middle-aged, the midlife woman, or you get the ones who are just trying to start up and they have trashy brands that you don't care to even be bothered with.
Yeah.
And so I'm just sitting still for a minute because I'm trying to figure out what's the next move and how I want to use my influence to actually make a difference in the buying power, because we can like run after different things. And I think when you are of a certain age, you're just so excited that you're being seen that you're like, oh, let me go. No, we don't have to do that.
No, we don't have to do that.
We can be intentional about the brands, because really it is not about the followers. It's about the influence that you bring.
Yes.
You can be intentional. And so just, write up a good media kit, write up a good marketing
plan.
How you want to approach these, because you're going to be hearing from me, folks, for the next 40 years. So you might as well get used to the fact that I'm here and I have something to contribute. And you need to, and I come with a group of women right along
that
with
is that's what, and that's it. And that's true.
I'm bringing all my 14.7 thousand
and more, because they know people too. So it's like a trickle down effect.
So we're bringing them all along. And if you care to tap into those dollars, we're here. And if you don't, then you know what? I'm going to move on and find those who will actually
and there are brands that will. There are brands, because I think now they're beginning to realize the power we have. And so they're going to tap into that. Oh, thank you. This was such an interesting discussion. So I have one more question for you. So with regards to aging, what do you think is your biggest struggle with aging right now?
My biggest struggle with aging is, and I always knew that I probably was going to have a problem with aging. And I don't know what's going to happen when I see it. But when I look in the mirror, the day that I begin to see, the ravages of time, when I begin to see all the wrinkles and things, that's going to be hard for me, because pretty much, and they're there, but pretty much when I look in the mirror, I pretty much see the same face that I have seen over the last decade or so.
Yeah.
When that starts to change, and not that it has to.
No.
And it may not.
It may not. It may not.
But that is a fear for me. What am I going to feel like when I really start to see my mother's face or my grandmother's face? And right now, I still see a youthful version of myself.
Yeah.
But when that changes, how am I going to feel? Am I going to be ready to run to a plastic surgeon? Am I going to be ready to run? I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping that I never have to have that issue, because I want to grow old gracefully. But I do realize that one day I'm going to look in the mirror and I'm going to see somebody that's not me. I'm going to see my mother. Or I'm going to see, and not that my mother's not beautiful for her age, she is. But she didn't necessarily care. She's my mother's almost 88. She looks great. But she's even beginning to see, oh, look, she's like, I see my grandmother. She sees her grandmother.
Oh, interesting.
she's like, oh, I've lost a little weight. So my skin is, and she didn't necessarily care about aging, maybe like I do, or even like my daughters will do. And so she's not doing this and doing massages and all of that. Yeah. But I know that because I have looked relatively youthful for so long, I know that when I do begin to see the ravages of time, I don't really have any gray hair. I have a few little places, but I don't have salt and pepper hair. So when those things start to happen, I don't know how I'm going to react. To that. It may be a different conversation.
Interesting.
But if I live long enough, if I live to be that 100-year-old plus woman that I intend to be, those are going to be real issues. I'm hoping I don't have to talk about those until I get 80. You know, by then I don't mind.
And we'll have a different conversation then, because it'll be like, okay.
At 80. Yeah, but other than that, that's it. Because I don't feel in my brain, my actualized age is like 35. I mean, I
believe that.
I 35. I really feel 35. Talk to my niece sometimes. They don't quite feel that. But then I run into people who are 40s and 50s who complain about aches and pains.
Yeah.
And I probably could do a little bit more in terms of physical activity, a little bit more in terms of exercise. But, I have a new plan for 2020. I don't know if you've heard that song on Instagram. See, you're thin, but see,
what's it called?
I sing, Kararibana, Kararibana. My God is a Kararibana.
Yes. Yes.
So when I step, I just say,
I love that.
Kararibana. My God is a Kararibana. He will do it for me.
That's an African song too. Hey, love it.
Yes. I don't need no Jimmo. Hey, he will do it for me. So that is my new diet.
Love it.
I'm not stressing over that anymore.
You don't need to.
I'm a plus size woman. I have always been a plus size woman. I have spent the better part of my life worried about diets and losing weight and gaining weight and counting this. I'm over it.
No, that's an energy drain. Don't need to do that.
I'm over it. And so what happens is when you're worried about it, it just causes cortisol, which so now
stress. Yeah, true. That is true though.
I don't even worry about it. I eat what I want and I don't eat what I don't want. And it seems to be working. Once I release that, so now my family automatically knows when I sit down, I'm like, they all know.
Okay, so that brings me to something else. I heard that you're a vocalist. I didn't know that about you. I just found that out.
Yes, I do sing. I've been singing probably all my life. And so I have sung in the White House several times. And I have sung, I sing with groups that we travel abroad. We go to London. We might go to Italy. I've been to Italy a couple of times singing. And so singing is just part of who I am. But I'm kind of getting tired of that too.
Really?
I've sung all through COVID. I've recorded through COVID. I've sung at more than my fair share of funerals, done more recordings, and voiceovers and things. But I guess that's part of who I am. I really can't let it go. I was explaining to some friends, I'm like, I'm just tired. I just think the fact that COVID has made me tired because it has required me to use my skill in a different way, my talent in a different way.
Yeah.
And a lot of that involved doing studio work, recording, putting things together because you couldn't necessarily be in spaces with other people.
Yes.
And I think that sort of wore me out. But when I have a talk with myself, I'm like, Sylvia, you've been singing since you can remember, since you were 5. You've been singing since kindergarten. So I don't consider myself a soloist. I'm a vocalist. I do background vocals. I'm a good support, but I do sing solos. I do sing, but that's just part of who I am, and I enjoy it. And I am thankful that I still have a voice. And they say, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So I'm always afraid if I don't use it, God will take it away from me. So I'm going to keep singing.
I know. I heard that. I was like, look at her. She's a singer too. I'm like, wow. That's so nice. Well, I just want to thank you so much for spending this time with us. I know the listeners, I know they're going to take some of this information. I know it's inspired and motivated different people in different ways because we shared so much today. So thank you so much. Thank you for those that are listening. I really appreciate all of you. And we'll be back next week. But thank you so much, Sylvia. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Kwabi, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Take care. Bye.
If you enjoyed listening to the show, you have to take a look at Flourish, my monthly online community for women in their 50s and beyond. We talk about the important issues affecting women in their 50s and over and provide tools and resources to help you live your best life. Join me by clicking the link Flourish Online Community in the About Me section below. I'd love to have you join me. See you there.